Oh. I haven't carved a pumpkin in a long time. Maybe like the last time I did it was like in elementary school. You know, there was this one Halloween where I dressed up as an undead pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean. And this time of year just makes me very nostalgic. Like that costume, I loved Pirates of the Caribbean growing up. And I was in love with Will Turner. I even had a t-shirt of his face on it. And I remember there was this scene in one of the movies. And it was the boot scene. And that scene in elementary school did something to me. It's a scene where Will Turner and Elizabeth is on an island, and Elizabeth has Will Turner's boot on. And so she puts the leg that has the boot on his leg, so it's like propped up like this, and he just starts kissing up her leg. And they're all sweaty and dirty. And I would rewatch that scene over and over again. I would get so giddy.
Well,
anyway, that Halloween, when I wore the undead pirate costume, that was my favorite costume, and still is my favorite costume of all time. And I mean, look at these pictures. People thought I was wearing a mask. It's not a mask. It's paint. My uncle is an artist and he painted that on my face. He told me not to smile in any of the photos, so that's why I'm not smiling. And it just looks cooler, you know? And I just felt so cool. And I mean, oh man, it was such simpler times back then. Like my mom would go all out for Halloween. She would decorate the house. Our Halloween costumes were just so cool every year. And you know, when it comes time to the holidays, this time of year, I like thinking about, you know, my childhood. And my mom really made it special. And I mean, what were my problems? Who's gonna sit with me at lunch? Who's gonna be my friend? I don't want to eat my carrots and broccoli. I want mac and cheese and a corn dog. I wish those were my problems. Oh man. Simple, simple times. I wonder when I lost my childhood innocence. Like, I know it was probably gradual or whatever. I remember when I was younger, I believed in mermaids, fairies, unicorns, ghosts. But now what do I believe in? Facts? Expectations? Trying to make something out of my life? Like, that is so boring. And the first night I slept in this apartment, it was the first night, like, living on my own without my parents. And I was in my room, and all my stuff were still packed up in boxes. And all I had was a mattress on the floor. And I sat on that bed that night, and I just felt terrified. What if I end up feeling sick? I can't go to my parents' room and wake up my mom and dad. And you're telling me I have to, like, go to doctor appointments? I have to schedule it? And, like, what if there's an intruder that breaks in? I always felt safe living under the same roof as my dad because my dad has guns. And what do I have? Pepper spray? Kitchen knife? I'm not stabbing anyone. So, I guess I'm gonna die. And so I sat on that bed and I cried. No one told me it was I don't know. I was so confused, thinking about my siblings and how we're all growing up. We're all going our separate ways. And that night really did feel like my childhood innocence died. And so I would have never thought it would feel this way. This requires a lot of patience that I don't really have, but it's okay. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, Malaya. It's gonna look good. Gotta ugh. If you're scared of knives, don't do this. Ugh. Oh, it's hot. I was just thinking about this one time that me and my family, like, visited my grandpa, and he was staying in a retirement home. And as we were walking with him down the hall, there was an old lady that had dementia, and she was following us. We got into my grandpa's room, and she was standing there at the door frame looking at us. And then she started she was walking back and forth, passing the doorway. And every time she would pass, she would look at us. And all I could see in my head was her just running towards me like this, smiling, laughing, and her just grabbing my head and whispering in it. Like, I've literally have seen that in my nightmares. And don't get me wrong, I love old ladies, okay? I do. But that, I don't know, man. It was straight out of a horror film.